PlayStation should have never acquired Bungie.
It's been put on ice.
Apparently, Bungie is the one that told them, yeah, don't like delay this thing. Apparently, they like looked at what they had or something and said, nah, don't do it.
They are laying off 25 contractors.
No disrespect, but who the hell is Bungie?
So a quick recap. This is all after Bungie came in, reviewed what they had, and said, nah, that ain't it. By the way, this was after all the developers were on the timeline talking about, we're cooking, smells great in this kitchen, like, never let him cook again, alright? But remember when people said, oh, we're in good hands? That's what I was told, we're in good hands. They said that they had fans of the first game working on it. Plus, the creator of the Battle Pass in Fortnite, he's working on the game now too. So the guy who revolutionized the industry, he's now working here. What's the problem? What could go wrong? He left after a year, by the way. He's no longer there. And a bunch of people got laid off. So cool. That's happening industry-wide. No biggie. But at this point, I've lost all faith. This was my most anticipated multiplayer game from the live service initiative. The one that everyone said had the best chance of them to succeed. And I mean, why would it not be? It has the IP behind it, and what am I supposed to look forward to? Concord? Does anyone know what that is yet? Fair Games? The Ubisoft looking game? Probably because it has the same art director as Watch Dogs or something, by the way, I don't know. The Fortnite looking Horizon game? The game being made by Deviation, who had most of their staff laid off and is allegedly cancelled.
That Deviation Games was hit with a large layoff.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be any of those games. So of course, a follow-up to one of the best multiplayers from the PS3 generation. Something original and unique, sign me up. But they tried to do too much from the sounds of it. So unnecessary. The definition of doing the most. They just needed some more maps, some more weapons, and some more game modes. Build on the first game, that's all we ever asked for. Instead, it's in shambles right now. Essentially cancelled. I'm doing quotation marks right now. On ice. I think what that means is my interpretation is probably cancelled, and when The Last of Us 3 rolls around, we'll build on it and we'll incorporate it into that game. Because on ice, why would you put a game on ice? Why would you not finish it or cancel it? So that's my conspiracy on what happened. Now, I said PlayStation shouldn't have bought Bungie at the start of the video. Whether they are responsible for this situation or not, which it sounds like they partly are, I still stand on this tweet. Yeah, give us your money. We're still independent. We're still doing multiplayer, by the way, and cancel all your first-party games. Because am I lying? I don't know who they think they are. And I mean, apparently, sure, Concord and Fair Games passed the test, okay. But people were telling me Destiny is a successful live service game and they need the expertise. However, all the people I know who play Destiny don't even like Destiny. And they have a very specific business model that doesn't apply to every other game. It isn't the typical live service game. They release expansions that cost almost as much as a new game. But yeah, why did they buy them then? Why they bought them, for what reason? So they could put their games elsewhere, so they could act brand new and say, yeah, we're not part of PlayStation Studios. We're still our own studio. $3 billion, half of that money was basically staff retention, and I have no idea why. You couldn't. They say, oh, they brought them in to look at the games, and maybe The Last of Us really wasn't up to snuff, you know? And it's like, for real, nobody's ever heard of consulting. You had to spend a whole $3 billion to get the studio. You couldn't, you know? Come on, man. So here's my thing. I've been saying it a lot. I only play on PlayStation, by the way, so I don't, I criticize PlayStation and people hop in my mentions and tell me, cope, and Xbox is trash. Like, I'm not playing on Xbox. I don't care about Xbox. Like, they need to make me care about Xbox. So if I'm criticizing PlayStation, don't bring up no damn Xbox. Don't bring up no Nintendo, okay? Let's stay on subject. Let's stay on topic. When I'm saying PlayStation has no games, don't bring up Xbox. I'm talking about what I play and my future. It's not a fanboy situation. When I say there's nothing coming after Spider-Man 2 and you list factions, well, now what's happening with factions? What's happening with Deviation's game? Now, Jim Ryan just left. People said he was great for the company. Sure, he seemed like he was. He got PlayStation through a hard time as well with the whole COVID situation. He managed to ship the system and it was successful. But in terms of games, none of the games that have released so far, games he signed off on. The games he signed off on are these games right here. These ones that are having trouble getting cancelled that we still haven't seen. Games where the most you've seen is CGI trailers. That's what he signed off on. And when the news came out, I wasn't a big conspiracy guy. I didn't think he got pushed out or fired. I still don't. But is it a coincidence that all the live service games seem to be having a lot of trouble. Everything he signed off on, maybe he just wanted to leave on a high. I'm not sure. But the standards need to come back. The expectations need to come back. You can't say, oh, Xbox is doing bad, so as long as it's not as bad over there. It's not how this works. They just increased the price of PlayStation Plus. What multiplayer games do we have? Seriously, what do we have? We have Fortnite. You can play Fortnite without online. It's a free-to-play game. So really, all we have is, what, Call of Duty? You raise the price, and now I can go play as Nicki Minaj in the new Call of Duty game. Okay.
Yeah, you know the queen got your back.
And I'm not one of the people that are against multiplayer games. Live service is a bit, People think, oh, live service is just a multiplayer game that goes on with time. I guess so, but there's a lot of things that come with live service. I just prefer a standard traditional multiplayer. Shit, The Last of Us 2 with a multiplayer is bare bones. Is The Last of Us 1, because it was sort of bare bones. That's all I asked for. I don't need a live service game. I don't need it to live on forever. I don't need you to drip feed me content. PlayStation has no multiplayer games. They haven't for a while. That has been a problem. They need to focus on that. I get the cost that prices of developing games is going up, and I get that maybe what used to be a few-man team is now takes a lot of developers and a lot of resources, and so you can't just tack on a multiplayer anymore. But there has to be that balance, and I can't lie, this is about The Last of Us, this is about factions, this is about Bungie, but the single-player games are getting a bit stale too. The single-player games are getting a bit stale. They are. The formulas are getting a bit tiring. It's the same old thing again and again. They don't mix it up enough. It seems like the studios are just copying each other now. So, some live service games, multiplayer direction, I was never upset at that. But can we see something? You say it's looking good in the kitchen. Like Jack Move said, can I peek in the pot? Can I see what's being cooked? At least? That's all I asked for. I just want to see. Let me see. Let me see what's happening. Let me see what's being developed. It's not looking good. It's not looking good as a PlayStation gamer right now. People will lie and say that it is. The system's selling. What does that have to do with me? The system's, why do I care? Yeah, I care about, a game selling however million. I care about the system being successful because it's good for longevity of the system. It means we get sequels to game we like. But why do I care about that when you're talking about the future and what happens when I'm like, that doesn't benefit me really. In some ways it does, because I get sequels, I get another system, cool. But at the end of the day, do I really care? Not really. What games do I have to look forward to? What services do I have to look forward to? What benefits do I get? What are the perks of being on the system? And right now, there isn't any. There really isn't. I don't know what games to look forward to. The games that I'm aware of don't sound the greatest. They don't sound the best. They sound like they're in some trouble. The person in charge just left. The prices all just went up. The prices are probably going to go up even farther with developers like Capcom saying that game prices are too cheap. When these live service games do finally arrive, what's going to happen is they're going to be free on PC, and you have to play them online on PlayStation. So it's like, oh, well, that's a downside. And so, yeah, being a PlayStation fan right now, they tell you it's the greatest thing ever. They tell you this is the best year in gaming, but is it really? It's like, cool, we got one game this year, Spider-Man 2. And if you want to count second-party games, Final Fantasy 16, and that game you don't like to mention, Forspoken at the beginning of the year. Cool. What do we have next year? Helldivers 2. Did you guys play the first game? No? But it's got a new camera mode. This one looks better. Okay. Like the camera mode, the third-person perspective that is in all the other PlayStation games. Okay. What do we really have? We don't have anything. And it's like, like I said earlier, don't tell me about Xbox. Would you rather them be like Xbox and announce Elder Scrolls for like 2027? Don't bring up Xbox to me. And again, I've said this before, I don't think you're going to get a Fallout 4 situation. I don't know where you guys are getting this imaginary scenario from where PlayStation has a showcase and they tell you Ghost of Tsushima is coming out in 6 months. No! It's gonna be, when you see Ghost of Tsushima announced, guess what? 1 or 2 years away still. Guarantee it. This is not a Fallout 4 situation happening right now. That's not the reason they're quiet. It's not. Nothing has been said that would imply that's the case. You're just making that up. You're going in a new direction, which sounds good, but it's not sounding so good. I would at least like to take a look at it. And you say, well, they're working on the same games as well at the same time. All the games that you liked before, we're working on them as well simultaneously. But those games are getting boring. They are. They're getting old. They're getting tiring. I play them like I've played this before. And it's like, at the end of the day, as a PlayStation gamer, I'm not the happiest. I'm paying more than ever. I'm getting less than ever, first party wise, features wise, services wise. I get 2 games on PlayStation Plus now, maybe 3. It's like, come on, man. It's times like this I wish Xbox was doing better. It's times like this I wish Nintendo had more powerful hardware. I'm trying to get off the platform for real. Trophies are devalued. What reason do I have to stay? I was about to end the video. What reason do I have to stay? Nintendo gets some powerful hardware. What reason do I have to stay? I ain't getting no games.